I think that was the biggest meltdown of the season.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. With me, as always, is my producer, Steve Granado. Steve. I can't even ask the question.
Yikes. That was rough. That game was in the bag, right? That game was in the bag.
It was the opposite of the other night.
Yeah, seriously. Anyway, hey, we got the finale against Baltimore coming up here tonight, game 3 of that 3-game series. So rubber game, we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Some interesting quotes about Josh Donaldson coming from Aaron Boone. We got to dissect them. Should he be playing every day? We're going to dissect that. First, Stacey, the 7th inning last night. May 24th game against Baltimore. Yankees entered the 7th leading 5-1. They sure did not exit the 7th with that going on.
No, they did not. That was, it felt like the longest inning of my life.
It's because it was.
It almost felt longer than the Yankees scored 13 runs in an inning twice against the Devil Rays in 2005, once in April of 2005 and once in June of 2005. This inning tonight felt longer than those two 13-run innings. It just felt like it was going on forever.
Yeah. I mean, it took forever just to get the first out. 8 runs. Nestor was cruising until he absolutely was not. Gave the ball to Jimmy Cordero. He got an out. Albert Abreu surrendered a couple of runs. It was just a nightmare, right? It was just a nightmare inning in what was, again, a 5-1 lead.
Yeah. And you're thinking
just completely fell apart.
5-1 in the 7th. I wasn't feeling that comfortable, but I didn't think that kind of a meltdown was going to happen. Like I figured, okay, the Orioles are probably going to make this close. And then they just kept scoring and it wouldn't stop. And, I'm not going to blame Boone for sticking with Nestor, but I feel like at some point he should have had an idea that maybe I should have gone a little sooner to someone else. I don't know.
Not that it mattered.
No, exactly. Because no one behind him executed the way they were supposed to in that inning. Like when you're called upon to come out of the bullpen to get outs, you need to get outs. And that was not happening. So this is the one time I'm not going to blame Boone. Oh, and speaking of that, I would like to retract my statement from yesterday's show because apparently DJ bunted on his own. So my apologies to Aaron Boone. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So it's just a meltdown. And the bullpen was due for a game like that.
True.
So I'm
guess just not happy about the Nestor thing, though, because this isn't the first time that he's had a meltdown like this. It's just, I think it may have been the first time that it's happened this late in a game, because I think he had a meltdown like this in a 5th inning in an earlier start. But he tends to have issues in the 6th and 7th innings.
Yeah, you have some stats here. 33 batters faced in the 6th and 7th innings this season. He's allowed 13 earned runs during that time, 13 hits and 4 long balls. It was the 3-run shot to Adam Frazier that got everything going for Baltimore. Baltimore's a tough team.
Yeah, they are. Like I said, the 5-1 lead did not feel comfortable, but I was not expecting that inning to end with the title of a Dolly Parton song. And if you know what I'm talking about, 9-5, okay? 9-5. That's what it was at the end of that inning. And I couldn't believe it when it finally ended. And I was relieved when it finally ended. And then the Yankees had a chance to.
Yeah, I was just going to say they had a chance in the bottom of the 7th and did not come through. DJ ended up grounding out. It's tough. You had a good part of the order due up and just did not happen. But I mean, hey, you put up 6 runs, you should be able to win.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Thank you for saying that. Because, even 5 runs, you should probably, if you have 5 runs going into the top of the 7th, you should be able to hold on and beat a team. Sure. But, sometimes it doesn't happen. And that was annoying because there were some guys who had good games tonight that we need to talk about. Like, I know this is a horrible loss and it's one of the worst ones of the season just because of how fast everything happened. But there were a couple of guys who had big offensive games. One, not surprising because it's against Baltimore, and the other one surprising.
Yeah, let's start with IKF. 2-run home run in the 5th, and then also had a triple off of the wall. That was a nice. Obviously, the big guys have been swinging lately. Most notably, Judge and Rizzo. Rizzo's been swinging all season, but when you get some production out of other guys in the lineup, that is encouraging.
Yeah, and IKF is up to 3 home runs this season, and he only had 4 all of last season. So
encouragement for sure. Gleyber also a pair of home runs in the game.
Because it's Baltimore, and that's just what he does against Baltimore, apparently.
He was heating up. If you watched our Monday show. Stacey, the Yankees live and die by the home run, right?
Yes.
That is how the roster is constructed. Yes, they lost on Wednesday night, but they have been hitting a lot of home runs lately.
Yes.
Does that worry you?
Yes. Because you want a team to, like, it's fun when teams hit home runs, but you want them to generate runs in different ways as well. Like, you want an inning where, you know, you get back-to-back-to-back singles, or you get, you know, a couple guys on base and someone hits a double to clear the bases and stuff like that. You don't want to be so reliant on the home run ball, which is what their problem was last year, because it was feast or famine. If they didn't hit a bunch of home runs, they wouldn't win. And if they did, they more than likely did. But it was, you know, very hot and cold. And this season, in the first 29 games, they had 34 home runs. In the last 17 games, they've had 38 home runs. That's a big jump.
It is. It is. I mean, you ride those waves. Do you see that? Because this is how the Yankees are constructed. This is not a fluke. This is on purpose.
Yeah.
The Yankees are built this way. Do you see that as a failure? Or a recipe for failure?
It could be a recipe for failure, because we've seen it become that in the past. I just think it's funny that, you know, guys like IKF are hitting home runs. Harrison Bader was hitting home runs, you know, because Bader's not really a home run hitter compared to like a Judge or a Rizzo or even a Gleyber. IKF certainly isn't. I feel like this could be another one of those seasons where it's going to be very up and down with the home runs. And I don't like that they're so reliant on them. Again, I would like to see them string together a bunch of hits and get on base in different ways and score in different ways, and not hold out for the 3-run home run, or, you know, even in the bottom of the 7th where they had the bases loaded and you were thinking, okay, maybe Rizzo will hit a grand slam. I mean, they scored a run in that situation, but they really should have scored more runs in that situation. They just couldn't execute. Yeah.
The problem with the home run ball is everything you just stated there, right? Is the feast or famine aspect of it. It's kind of like all of baseball, just with a magnifying glass on top of it.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is baseball is a game of ups and downs, right? You're always going to ride through that roller coaster. And it always ends up being your World Series champion is who's hottest at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you saw it with the Nationals in 2019. Who the hell expected a team that started 18 and 31 to run through and do what they did in the playoffs? It was unbelievable.
The 2005 White Sox, the 2002 Angels.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on and on and on and on. So you just have to hope that the team you're rooting for is the team that's hot at the time.
You could even say the 2000 Yankees, because they weren't even that good in 2000, but they had the experience of the previous World Series, and they just got hot at the right time. Because going into the 2000 World Series, Sports Illustrated predicted the Mets winning in 5, and then the Yankees ended up winning in 5, because people were really picking the Mets over the Yankees in that World Series, and they were just
it's always a gamble, right? It's always a gamble, and that hasn't changed. I think that just the home run aspect of it has put a larger microscope on it. Let us know how you're feeling about the Yankees being home run happy right now, and if you think it's sustainable. Do you think this offense explosion is sustainable? Yes, 6 runs on Wednesday night, but still a loss. Hey, some quick injury updates for you. Giancarlo Stanton is going to get some pictures taken today, and then he is slated for a rehab. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And then Tommy Kahnle and Josh Donaldson are starting a rehab today with the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. So they'll be in Moosic. at PNC Field to play against the Worcester Red Sox here over the next couple of days. So keep an eye out on that. Josh Donaldson coming back. Some interesting comments, by the way, from Aaron Boone on how he's going to use Josh Donaldson. We're going to talk about that in a second. Hey, before we run away for a second, drop your questions in our comment section here on YouTube. You can be featured on tomorrow's show, Fan Mail Friday. As always, we will answer our fan mail questions on tomorrow's episode. Catch the Orioles finale tonight at 7:05 on Sirius XM. And again, coming up, we got to talk about Josh Donaldson. This episode is brought to you by our new sponsor, Bird Dogs. Bird Dogs is the best place to buy men's shorts and pants that come in with built-in underwear. Yes, you heard that correctly. I've been wearing my first pair, and I love them. I've been wearing them the last couple of days. Not every day, but I do like them, and I feel better, and I look better while I'm wearing my Bird Dogs. They're super comfortable, they're versatile, and they're actually cheaper than other big name brands. And of course, Locked On Yankees listeners have the opportunity to get some free stuff when you place an order at birddogs.com. They have a bunch of different styles of shorts and pants. They have different fits, and you're definitely going to find the right one for you. You can go to birddogs.com/lockedonmlb, and when you enter the promo code LockedOnMLB, they're going to throw in a free custom Bird Dogs Yeti style tumbler with every single order. That's birddogs.com/lockedonmlb. Hey, back here on Locked On Yankees. Thanks for making us your first listen every single day to the Everydayers. Coming up on tomorrow's show, we got two things. Of course, it's Fan Mail Friday, and it is also a crossover episode. We have Javier Reyes from Locked On Padres joining us to preview the weekend Padres series. What an interesting case the San Diego Padres are, isn't it?
We're going to have a lot to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to really speed up that conversation tomorrow with Javi. So make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss that episode tomorrow. Stacey, Aaron Boone talked about Josh Donaldson and his return. You all right there? That's cat hair in your mouth?
Cat hair on my lip. Yeah.
It's just lovely. That was beautiful.
Lovely.
Good work. Aaron Boone talking about Josh Donaldson, saying that Josh Donaldson is going to be an everyday player once he returns from the injured list. Stacey, your thoughts on that statement?
But does he have to be? Does he really have to be? I feel like there are three other guys who can play third base and be more useful than Josh Donaldson right now. And I know people are thinking, three? Yes. Oswaldo, DJ, and IKF.
So this is how they've handled it without him. And I'm not gonna bury the lead. DJ. DJ's been the guy. 32 games. I guess now 33 after last night's game.
Yeah.
At third base since or this season. Total this season. So IKF's played 8. Oswald Peraza played 5, and Oswaldo Cabrera played 5. Of those guys there, obviously Peraza's still with the Rail Riders or back with the Rail Riders. But it's not like DJ's really hitting, especially right now.
No.
So when you say, does he have to? I'm not going to go as far as that. Does he have to? But I think he deserves a chance. I don't think DJ's taking it away.
No. But I just, I feel like, well, all right. I feel like him and DJ are neck and neck offensively right now. Because DJ's
you
really.
Don't know. You don't know what Donaldson is offensively right now, to be fair.
I can predict the future. Like, do you really see him coming back and doing something? Because he barely did anything last year either. The man's 38, no offense, but it's like.
He's only played 5 games this year.
I know.
So you don't know. No one knows. As much as you want to, I'm not saying you, I'm saying,
No, I know.
One wants to.
No.
Not piling on you.
I would love for him to come back and be, he doesn't have to be 2015 Josh Donaldson. He doesn't have to be, you know what I mean?
Well, he's not going to be.
No, I would love for him to come back and, occasionally get like at least a hit in a game or something like that, and not just, stare at balls down the middle. That'd be great.
So what is the timeline then? Because let me also say this. It don't matter what we say.
Right.
It doesn't matter what anyone says. It matters what Aaron Boone says.
Yeah, I don't think he should be every day, though. I mean, maybe he'll be the majority, but I don't think he should be every day. I feel like there should be a...
Maybe we're getting caught up in semantics here.
Yeah.
Let's say this.
Okay.
Josh Donaldson's going to play third base.
Right.
There is nothing we can do about that.
No.
We can question whether that's the right move, which
Mhm.
obviously we have. And a lot of people will be and have already done.
Oh, yeah.
But again, that's what's going to happen. Is Josh Donaldson's going to come back and he's going to be in the lineup and he's going to play third base. So how long are you giving Josh Donaldson to figure it out, I guess, to get acclimated and produce? If it's not producing, if he's not producing, at what point do you say we got to try something else?
3 weeks to a month, but that feels like a really long time. But it also doesn't feel like a long time, but it just feels like a long time because he's starting so late, because he was out for so long. So when you look at, he's going to be starting the rehab assignment, he'll probably play a few games and then he'll be back maybe like next week, like the end of next week, possibly by then. So that's
probably midweek. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's June, just about June. So we're talking giving him a chance until July 4th. And that feels so far away, even though it's not. So, because I don't think it would be fair to not give him at least a month, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone else got a month to kind of get used to playing and stuff because that's how the season works. And it's just he's getting a later start than everyone because he only played 5 games. I mean, is a month too long? I don't know.
I mean, I was going to say it depends, but I don't think it does depend. I think the Yankees, I don't know. I don't know. I was going to say in either direction are optimistic about the East, but also I don't think they are. I don't know. I don't know how they're feeling about the AL East.
And also, do you think that they should activate Donaldson and maybe knock down Cabrera to AAA to work on some things?
They're also just not really playing as well, though.
Yeah, I feel like he needs to go to AAA for a little bit, and
he needs to get some reps. Like he's just really not playing. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the move.
Yeah, I think that might be the move.
Yeah,
I think that might be the move because they have enough guys now to.
Yeah, everyone's back essentially, except for Stanton.
Right, and they don't have Hicks to worry about anymore, and they have Bader center field. You could put IKF in left, even though it's an adventure. You have Willie Calhoun. It's like there's all these different options. So I feel like that's probably what they're thinking will be the move. I think.
And then Greg Allen turns into Hicks, right?
Right.
Like that's
the
bench guy.
So I say a month.
He kind of already is. Yeah.
Yeah. So give him at least a month to get acclimated and everything. And again, it's not going to be every single day because they do have someone like DJ to stick in there because they can put DJ at second, they could put DJ at first, they could put DJ at third because they want him to be the super utility guy.
Yeah, I mean, they have the utility and they can do it.
Yeah,
I mean, Josh Donaldson's going to play third. Like, it's not like you're going to see him.
And he's fine at third. I mean, give him credit. Last year, he was great defensively. It was just you couldn't really hit the ball. But I mean, considering the injury history and his age, not that he's ancient, but playing 30 at 37 at third is not that easy when you've been playing for years. And he looked great.
Yeah, we'll see. Let us know in the comments section. How long would you give Josh Donaldson? Again, we can go back and forth on whether you think it's the right move or not, and we're never going to come to an agreement for anybody. But
I feel like I almost changed my mind at this point.
Well, because again, we have no say. You have no say.
Yeah.
So when you're in the comment section, let us know how long is that leash, right? I think that's the bigger conversation piece here is how long is that leash? Because that leash is on.
Yeah.
But we need to see how long it is. So let us know in the comment section how you're feeling about that. And while you're in that comment section, of course, you already know the drill. Drop your questions for Fan Mail Friday. It's your last chance to get in your questions for tomorrow's show. You can catch the Orioles finale tonight on Sirius XM, 7:05, the first pitch, so long as Mother Nature lets us. Coming up next, we're going to preview that final game.
Have you ever forgotten about a free trial subscription and then ended up paying for it? Because I have, and Rocket Money can help you with that. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about. You could be wasting money and not even realizing it. Rocket Money helps you find those forgotten subscriptions so you can stop paying for the ones that you don't use. Most Americans think they spend around $80 on subscriptions a month, but the total is closer to 200. Rocket Money also helps you manage your finances in one place and automatically categorizes each expense so you can easily track your budget in real time and also get alerted if anything looks off. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Stop throwing your money away, cancel unwanted subscriptions, and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/lockedonmlb. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedonmlb.
Back here on Locked On Yankees, Stacey, pitching matchup for this final game, this rubber game between the Orioles and Yankees, which by all accounts should have been a chance for the sweep, but obviously is not. Kyle Gibson faces Clarke Schmidt. I asked you a couple of times already. It's the 5 innings. It's the 5 innings, right, for Clarke Schmidt.
Right. Well, I mean, they didn't use the elite bullpen guys in Wednesday's game. So, if he only goes 5, they have a few guys they can use. So that's good. Although, I mean, the bullpen's been used a lot lately. So it would be nice if he could possibly make it to 6. But the Orioles are a really tough team. So I'm not going to expect him to go into the 6th inning against them. I'm really not. I'd be happy with 5.
Yeah, because Cole only went 5 in the opener. So that didn't help out.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the meltdown on Wednesday. So, yeah, we'll see. Kyle Gibson, the elder statesman, former Philadelphia Philly. He's coming off his best start of the year, Stace. He faced Toronto's last time out back on the 19th. 7 innings of work, 5 hits, 1 run earned, a pair of walks, and 5 strikeouts. Kyle Gibson these days is not the guy that you probably remember, the pitcher he is now. He's having some command issues this season. Especially with his secondary outside of his changeup. He's going to throw that changeup down in the zone, which you obviously gotta, unless you're, pumping 95 changeups or 92 changeups, which he is not these days, to be clear. But he's going to throw that sinker for strikes, and he's going to get a lot of strike calls for it. So I think the Yankees need to gear up a little bit for it. I wouldn't be shocked to see them swing early in the count here to try and to counter the changeup a little bit. So maybe look out for that here tonight. How important is it to get out of this series with 2 of 3?
Oh, it's very important because they're right behind Baltimore in the standings. And it makes it look a little better if they can beat them at home 2 out of 3. And again, it would have been nice if they were going into this game looking for the sweep, but that did not happen.
Should have been. Again, it should have been at this point, but that is not the case. Just some other things you're looking out for here tonight against Baltimore. Again, there was some weather in the area. There was a little bit of wind as well. I mean, these guys are used to that at this point, right?
Yeah. I think the weather's supposed to be okay on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I hope, because the weather was not great around here, and we knew that it was going to be delayed, and knew it wasn't going to be bad enough to be postponed. We knew that it was going to be just later. It wasn't going to be like, oh, that we have to do a doubleheader on Thursday. Thank goodness that didn't happen. But it's I just want a good game tomorrow, and it could be. You never know. I mean, these are 2 good teams. The Yankees are good. I mean, considering everything they're playing up against with, still not really having everyone they're supposed to have, they're still in it. And Baltimore surprising the hell out of everyone. We spoke about that on yesterday's show. And, I just hope it's a good game. I hope it's a close game, and I hope the Yankees win.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously did battle back a little bit there in their bottom half of the 7th after a disastrous top of the inning. They ended up loading the bases. They did get a run there. So those are some positive signs. They did not show up in the 8th, did not show up in the 9th. But, at that point, you're looking up and it says 3, but it don't feel like 3 at that point when you get that deep into a game and it's late in the night and you're just like, all right, man, this is a wash.
And there was a delay and it's like, okay, let's just go already.
Get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they show up here today. I'd like to see a little bit more of, again, swinging earlier in the count here against Kyle Gibson. We'll see if that again ends up being the case here. But, that game again tonight here, 7:05, can of course be heard on Sirius XM. Every game this season with John and Susan, you can find a free trial just by Googling it. So you should definitely do that. Again, one last chance for you guys to get your questions in for Fan Mail Friday. So drop them in the comment section here on our YouTube channel, and we will answer our favorites coming up on tomorrow's show. So make sure you subscribe. There's some really good questions. We're gonna have to trim some of the fat. We got some really good questions here over the last couple of days. So thank you guys for being a part of the show. And again, of course, also on tomorrow's show, Locked On Padres host Javier Reyes is going to join us, and we're going to chat a little bit about the upcoming weekend series against the Pod Squad. That's going to do it for us here today on Locked On Yankees. I'm Steve Granado.
And I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. We'll see you tomorrow.